Warning: the following context may include scary sequences of light horror and many thrills. Some gruesome descriptions involving children may be present in some chapters. Some material may be unsettling to certain audiences. But don't worry, everything will be okay. Probably. Chapter 18. I Can Tell Your Future. Martha's Perspective. It's gotta be here somewhere, I groan as we turn on yet another trail and still no sign of the magic ball. What does this thing look like anyway? Kiri, just a few steps ahead of me, shrugs. He hasn't been in much of a talking mood, which is different for him, as far as I can tell. Kiri? I repeat myself. I'm not sure. Finally, he answers me. I've never been there. I stop. You haven't been there? I thought you've been everywhere here. Have you been everywhere in the land you live in? I try not to giggle at his use of land rather than state or town. I've been to most places in my town, I reply, sighing at the unending corn on both sides of me. He turns and smiles at me. Okay, so I've been to most places here. I roll my eyes, and I suppose he got me there. The path lingers for almost another hour or so, and my legs are beginning to ache. Another thing I noticed, I didn't feel grief or sadness. Titi and Chip told us that each item possesses an emotion, and the book's was sadness. We have the book with us, but other than frustrated with these stupid corn stalks, I feel fine. Well, as fine as one can be in this situation. I don't know what Chip and Titi were talking about with the book making us sad. I feel relatively normal, I think out loud. Kiri doesn't reply. I listen and hear a small sniffle. Oh my gosh, are you crying? I ask, then realize how rude that sounded. Sorry, that was insensitive. Are you okay? I feel the sadness from the book, he says mournfully. Turning to look at me, he wipes tears from his eyes. Kiri, I say, hugging him. I'm sorry. How is it affecting you and not me? His lips turn into an upside-down smile. Maybe it only affects one person? His head drops, like it chooses the person with the highest level of sadness or something. A chilling sorrow sinks in. He mentioned having to leave his entire family. I can't imagine having to live on my own at such a young age, losing everyone I knew. I'm sorry, Kiri. Let's keep moving. Maybe the next item will be a positive emotion to balance it out. He laughs under his tears. If it's positive, I assume it'll attach itself to you, because you seem to be quite optimistic. I grip my teeth, but also laugh along with his. I'm sorry. I'm just trying to lighten the mood. You don't even have to help us. His head lifts up and he looks at me. Right, 'cause I'm going to just abandon you in this haunted place alone. Well, when you put it like that, I laugh. I suppose that would be pretty rude. He reaches out his hand and pats my shoulder. Let's keep going, buddy. Aw, I blush. I'm your buddy. Yep, he nods affirmatively. It's nice to have one. I haven't had one in a while. I give his back one hard pat. Well, I'm honored to be your buddy, I say. Now get me out of this cornfield before I go insane. We reach the end of this trail, left with two options. Luckily, Chip and Titi gave us a map, so as long as it's accurate, we should be able to find our way there. It says turn right, Kiri tells me, but the path looks so narrow and unused. The cornstalks look old. I can see what he means. It's brown rather than green, and cobwebs tangle through the stalks. The path is so narrow you would have to use a single file line. If it says this is the way, I say we give it a try, I suggest. Okay. The smell of dust and old musk pierces my nose. Beetles and spiders crawl around, feeding off the dead plants. Clouds travel through, casting shadows on the trail. The sound of peaceful wind chimes ding in the wind as it blows. Do you hear that? I ask Kiri. Yeah, I think we're close. We walk for another 5 minutes and happen upon a large circular tent. It's tan and brown, with crystals and charms tied to sticks propping it up. Wind chimes and feathers dangle in a couple oak trees nearby. That's not too intimidating, I offer some positive words. Kind of pretty. Yeah, I suppose, Curie says dully. I can tell the sadness is weighing on him again. We tap the outside of the tent door. Hello? I say. Is there anyone here? I don't want to be rude and intrude. We wait a few seconds and no reply comes. Without knocking again, Curie enters the tent. Curie! I say, trying to grab his arm, but he pulls me in instead. The small room is covered in sashes hanging in corners and from the ceiling. More crystals and chimes dangle above us. The floor is a beautiful purple and red rug with patterns I've never seen before. Sitting in the center of the tent is a small silver table holding a wooden box. Should I touch it? I ask. I don't know. Maybe, Curie says. All I know about this place is that creatures stopped coming here because they couldn't handle to know their futures, and there was some type of pricey cost. My neck snaps back at him. You didn't tell me that, I accuse. I have no money, and I don't like the sound of magical creatures not being able to handle something. I can't imagine I'll do any better. I believe in you. He holds two non-convincing thumbs up. Whatever, I'm touching it. I reach out my hand and go to open the box. The moment my fingertips touch it, candles hanging from the ceiling light. Purple smoke explodes out of the box, flowing onto the table and floor. Step back, Curie grabs my arm. The box opens, allowing a crystal ball to ascend to the air. It's floating, I mutter, completely flabbergasted. The ball lights up with green, purple, and pink sparkling swirls inside. Who stands before me? A voice comes from within the ball. You would think by now nothing surprises me here, but I didn't expect the ball to speak. My name is Martha, I answer, stepping forward. Martha, I see much confusion, unease, worry, clouding your aura, it tells me. What truths or fortunes do you seek? Dang, didn't have to call me out like that. I hesitate, deciding how to explain what I need. My friends and I have been cursed to this land. We're not from here. I seek the item of Lydia that resides here. I swallow hard, hoping I got my point across. I see your friends now. You've split up in hopes to save time. The item you seek here is a secret. Lydia hid her deepest secrets here. I can give it to you. Thank you, I say, unsure of how to carry a secret. Maybe just knowing the secret is enough? But it will come at a cost, the ball tells me in an eerie tone. Suddenly, I don't like the idea of carrying Lydia's secret with me. What cost? Curie asks. You will know when it is time to pay. For now, you may have the secret. Do we have a deal? No, I snap. I need to know what the cost is. Do you want to escape the curse? The ball asks me. My gaze falls to the floor. I sigh deeply, knowing this is the only way I can help us get out of this place. Okay, I'll pay the price, I answer. But how will I know what it is? Trust me, the ball tells me. You'll know when it arrives. I don't like the sound of that, Curie whispers. No turning back now, I've already agreed, I whisper back, still unsure of my decision. Very good, the ball replies. The secret is kept safely in this bottle. From out of the box, a tiny pink bottle floats into my hand. My eyes roll back and vision of Lydia pour into my mind. Visions of creatures from this land crossing over to our world. Giant spiders, flesh-eating monsters, fairies, and ghosts haunting our streets. Lydia planned to release them into our world. Her anger was so great that her care for human life faded, creating an unstable curse, one even she could not control. The curse was crumbling, cracking the wall between their world and ours. And that was her biggest secret of all, that not even she had the power to overcome the curse. My eyes fly open as Curie shakes me back to consciousness. I let out a huge gasp for air, collapsing into Curie's arms. Martha, he says, lightly tapping my face. Are you okay? I am, I say, trying to regain my footing. I'm just really scared now. We have to break this curse. Chapter 19. Pumpkin Spice and the Souls Who Tried. Connor's Perspective. Tune in tomorrow.